hockey jersey again because if there's no music, there's no hockey jersey. I know a lot of you all want hockey jerseys, but we'll get there. We have special show today. Very interesting. I copied down around 4 questions from people from the last time, and we're ready to go. And then we're going to have the next time we'll do a question and answer session, which will be next week. Tomorrow, we're going to do Schlacapella night, which means that I will sing without music. So for those that are not understanding why I don't have music, it's because we are in the middle of the 9 days. It's actually the 3-week period between the 17th of Tammuz and the 9th of Av, which is when the 2 temples were destroyed. Lots of bad things happened to the Jewish people. We want that to all turn around. It should turn around. We are in that zone. There's lots of things happening, and hopefully we're heading to the redemption, Messiah, the 3rd temple. Elijah the prophet, Eliyahu Hanavi is going to come. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun, and hopefully we will all witness that. But in the meantime, we are here taking you up to that moment. And I am Lenny Solomon, and we are at Lenny Solomon Live, day 14, brought to you by the fourcornersproject.org, www.4cornersproject.org, the greatest informal Jewish educational organization there is, informal Jewish education through music and media. For those of you out there, we've already played to over 12,000 people. Go to the website, place a donation for the year. Small, medium, big, whatever you want, doesn't matter. It does such great work. We have great things planned for you. I'm the executive director. We have great things planned for the year. And I heard from somebody today that basically through 2021, just the beginning of 2021, we're probably going to be doing shows because I don't think we'll have any Schlock Rock concerts or any tours. The concerts that we have will all be from this live Four Corners Project studio. All right. Item 2 on the agenda. Here we are. One of the Schlock Rock Hall of Famers, Shmuel Laser, suffered an aneurysm. He's in the hospital, and we need his prayers. So when I say Tehillim, that means say Psalms, Psalams, Psalms, and Shmuel Michael ben Malka, that's his name. You are saying Psalm for Shmuel Michael ben Malka. Next thing, so you can see I have my Daniel in Babylon t-shirt, and my hat that I'm wearing today, or that I was wearing, is from the Yeshiva University Maccabees, the YU Macs. I got such a great time this year with the YU Macs. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are not familiar with the basketball team led by Coach Steinmetz, they went 29-1, and then they went to the NCAA tournament and won their first 2 games. Heading into the Sweet 16, they were one of 16 teams left in the nation. And then the season got put on, I guess it was canceled the rest of the season. So the Macs really were one of the top 16 teams in the country in Division III basketball. I went to 3 games this year. It was unbelievable. They didn't just win, my friends. They won by 18 points or more, clobbering their opponents. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to watch. I happened to go to 1 game where they won it at the buzzer with like 5 seconds to go. It was on the road, and they won I think they ended up winning by 4 or 5 points. But most of the games, they won by 18, 20, 25, 30 points. So with the YU Macs, we have our YU Macs basketball cap, which we will put on the side. In terms of concerts, I just booked a concert at a school for September when school's going to be starting. They're having Zoom school. And for all of you out there that are in education, email me, and we're going to be setting up the whole year, doing concerts right to your school, right here from Beit Shemesh, Israel. Can't get better than that. A lot of energy, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. And for the year 5781. Okay, let's talk about, what are we talking about today? We're having a question and answer session, and I copied down 4 questions from last time, which I have right here. I will read the questions and then respond, and here we go. Question number 1 comes from a Rabbi Jeff Frances from Atlanta, and he writes, who wrote those incredibly philosophical, theological masterpieces about the incorporeality of God and about the creation of all existence ex nihilo that... can't read the rest of it. Okay. Who wrote those songs? Rabbi Jeff Frances wrote those songs. He wrote 2 Shlock Rock songs. One of them came from Sam Cooke. All right, parodied from the great Sam Cooke and Billy Preston. One of them from Sam Cooke, which was called It's Not a Matter of Sight, 'Cause God Ain't Got Nobody, right? Another Saturday night became It's Not a Matter of Sight. And the other one was a Billy Preston song. God, he made something from nothing. God, he took nothing and made a whole world to see. We can't make something from nothing. And that's the number one thing in Jewish ideology. So Rabbi Jeff Frances wrote those 2 parodies. So we'll give him a plug. Great parodies, and they were a lot of fun. And yes, we do get requested from time to time for those songs, and we do play them. Okay, next question coming from Brooklyn, New York, Yehoshua Solomon. He writes, what's the latest on the musical theater project Daniel in Babylon? That's one of the reasons I'm wearing the t-shirt today. So, Daniel in Babylon started off as a Broadway show. I wrote it around 8 years ago, and we switched it to a movie. And what does that mean, really? It means that we're trying to make a movie on the book of Daniel. It's a musical, a rock opera called Daniel in Babylon. Now, obviously, Hollywood is shut down, Broadway is shut down, America is shut down in terms of theater, but Israel is not, and we're starting to look into making the movie in Israel. And what better place to make Daniel in Babylon than in Israel, where the movie starts out and the movie ends, right? Because Daniel gets exiled from Jerusalem, or from Judea, all the way to Babylon, and then in the end he returns. Now, in real life, he returns for a short time and then goes back to Babylon. But that's not neither here nor there. The movie is all about the yearning of Daniel for Jerusalem. And it has in it the famous story of the lion's den and the famous story of the fiery furnace. Really amazing, amazing things. And we're starting to look into making that movie in Israel. I will let you know how that goes, but we are making progress. And that's exciting. Okay. Next question comes from Beit Shemesh and Zev Roth, who always gets the trivia questions right. He's one of the first people to answer. Have the original bands you parodied ever contacted you for praise or for lawsuit? Nice question. I get asked it all the time. So I do know that the the Drifters, who sang Under the Boardwalk, loved Under the Chuppah. They were played the original and they loved it. I don't really know of anybody else that has heard the original, the parodies that Shlock Rock did of the original, because remember, even though we're a very big Jewish rock and roll band, at the end of the day, the Jewish community is very small. You know, America, 6 million Jews or whatever it is, the whole world, 12 to 14 million Jews, depending on, you know, what numbers you take. So we're not that big that groups are going to come to us for lawsuit or for praise. Did we get a couple of, inquiries about the parodies? Yes. Yes, we did. But nothing ever came of them in terms of lawsuit, thank God. We've never been sued, and I hope to keep that record intact. And in terms of praise, you'll get a smile here or there. I know Weird Al Yankovic got one of our CDs. The great drummer John Bermuda Schwartz gave it to him. I'm friendly with him. But I didn't hear from Weird Al. I don't know if he ever actually opened up the CD. I'm sure he gets tons and tons and tons of submissions. Okay, that was enough for question number 3. Question number 4 comes from Ari Malowitsky from Spring Valley or Muncie. Do you perform a lot in Israel or mostly when you come to America on tours? So, to answer that question, we go on tour, up until this past February, I would go on tour every 6 to 8 weeks for a 2 to 3 week period. Now, sometimes those tours would be to Australia, where I've been 8 times. South Africa, I've been 9 times, but the last time was in 2005. And I just did a nice show for a South African magazine, the South African Jewish Report. They had a nice evening, and I did two songs for them. So that was kind of nice. Then England, I've been to a lot of cities in England, and Canada, a lot of cities in Canada, and of course the US, all 50 states. So what about Israel? I usually do around 15 to 20 appearances in Israel. Now, some of them are bar mitzvahs, some of them are schools, some of them are private, some of them are whatever they are. I'm going to say 3 to 5 actual concerts. Now, again, things right now, all concerts are coming from the Four Corners Project studio here in Beit Shemesh. So until things change, this is where we are. And it's a great place to be. And I want to tell everybody out there that the whole purpose, when you take a look at the prayers, the things that you say, the whole purpose is about coming to Israel. And I think that I don't know what God is telling us with this coronavirus, and I wouldn't even offer a guess. However, I would say that maybe it's time for us to start thinking about being born in the USA, making Aliyah today, as my phone is starting to ring when I make these things. And you can call up Nefesh B'Nefesh, whether you're in the UK or whether you're in the US of A, and start inquiring. They're a great organization. And that's the scoop. All right, everybody. We have been live, for quite a long time. And tomorrow night, Shlacapella night, meaning I will do 2 songs, only a cappella, without music, with hockey jersey, with baseball cap, back to sports trivia. Okay, hope you guys have had a great time. Enjoy. And we will see you tomorrow.